Hey everybody, welcome to the Bethesda E3 press event after show. I am not Morgan Webb, nor nearly as good looking.
Aw,
Those eyes, though. Every time I see her eyes, I'm like, oh.
I like Adam Sessler's bald head.
Well, that's just because you like rubbing heads. But
All
so
right,
my initial impression is pretty goddamn good.
same here. I was pretty happy with it.
Even like the dumb shit that I usually don't like that they showed, I was actually kind of intrigued.
I was too. Can I
Yeah,
can I can I say like the number one like dumb shit thing that I freaked out over?
the Pit Boy.
Yes. I freaked out over
Yeah,
that. I'm like, that's so damn cool. And also, I mean, just that little thing where like it's an actual second screen experience that looks like it'll actually work and do what I exactly want it to do.
what I like is it's actually got a little working rad meter on it.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, we'll get back to that. So first thing came up was they started it with Marty Stratton came out and showed off Doom 3. I guess he's the lead for the game.
Hmm.
Um, and so far, like first thing I want to say is like Tech 6 looks good. I
It
didn't
looks
see
really
any.
good. Yeah.
If there's mega textures, they don't nearly look as bad as they did before.
Mm-mm.
Um, it looked kind of like a beefy game, honestly.
Yeah, very beefy.
Um, but at the same time, I noticed a few things during the demos. So to me, it looked like they were kind of like, if I had to guess, it was either like Annie Elise way the hell out of proportion,
Yeah, I think so.
or they were playing at like a higher resolution, Annie Elise like 4K and then downscaling it to 1080. I was
Yeah,
watching.
maybe.
Were you watching a Bethesda stream at all?
Yeah, I was watching the whole Bethesda stream. I
Yeah.
hope
So did,
everyone was.
yeah.
I'm tangled here slightly. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, so far, like my kind of thoughts on it was, I kind of felt like the demo was very canned. Like it seemed like it was like a pre-done thing, but it seemed like it was
Hmm.
at least being done in engine. I noticed like on the 60 frames a second stream that it was definitely dropping a little bit below 60 here and there
That's what I
with a
was
lot of stuff was
noticing.
going on.
I was noticing as well, but I wasn't 100% sure if that was just my Twitch feed or if that was the game. So apparently, if it was, yeah, it probably was the game then.
Yeah, I was watching it on YouTube,
Okay.
and it seemed to be doing it there too. And I noticed like when anything else was going on, it was pretty smooth. So
Hmm.
I kind of chalked it up as that. So far, like it's really, really over the top. It's really what I wanted from a Doom game. I liked that you shoot somebody with a shotgun, they just explode.
Right.
What do you think
And
about the new melee attacks and stuff?
the melee, like they're, I don't know. I'm a little bit on them. I think I don't know. Maybe it's just because my last experience was Doom 3, so like going into that to this is kind of I don't know how I feel about it yet. But I mean, I mean, from some of it did look really cool. So especially a chainsaw.
Yeah, the chainsaw was cool. It did seem kind of like just depending on what enemy, it's going to be the same animation over and
Yeah,
over
I was
again.
noticing a lot of the same stuff
Yeah,
over
so
again.
I'm hoping they add a little bit more variety to that before.
Right. Hmm.
Didn't give us a release date, so I'm still guessing since probably like a year off.
Yeah, probably, or at least after the first of the
Yeah,
year. So.
a lot more demons, a lot more variety in demons than we've seen
Hmm.
before.
Definitely a few.
Um, seems like a lot of demons are going back to the way it was in the original Doom, where there's a lot of them. They're sort of like half mechanical, half
Hmm.
demon, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Um, charging on the guns, like a secondary fire charging, seemed pretty interesting.
It did. I did like
Uh,
the machine gun with the little rockets on it.
yeah, it was
That
pretty neat. It
was
just
pretty
popped
cool.
up like deet, deet, deet.
Mm.
Looked like the rockets from like Airwolf or something.
Yeah.
It was like kind of crazy.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So they showed that all the single player. You got anything else to add to single player that you thought about when they showed it off?
Um,
Anything you were
the
excited
only
about?
well, excited. Nothing really on top of that. I mean, it looked really damn pretty, and there was a lot of guns that you. Oh, I actually something they're doing. I noticed. I do like when games do this. Like when you go through. I'm guessing on console, this is probably more for that, or if you're using a controller. But like the
Hmm.
slow mo when you go through and to figure out your guns, I
Yeah.
think that's a nice little touch because it still keeps it going. But yet you're still kind of fumbling to try and figure out what weapon. So you're still in it, but like I don't know. I think that was a really nice touch. But I'm wondering for like PC if you can just hit 1, 2, 3 and if that works or not. But I don't know.
Yeah. I'm kind of noticing like this past couple of years too. I think maybe like extreme depth of field is the new God Ray.
It yeah. There was a lot of depth of field, and it looked cool though. At least when
It
you were in the slow mo.
it looked cool because it did like the alien isolation thing where when you were looking at the menu, it kind of like zoomed in because it was supposed to be like on the
Yeah.
helmet, I guess.
Right. In the helmet. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. But
It was cool.
yeah, for us PC players, we'll just probably hit 1 through 7, and
Hopefully,
yeah, we'll
I'm
probably
curious
never
what
see
they're
that.
gonna. Or
Yeah.
they're gonna do the thing where you like hit a button for select and then you like use the mouse to kind of roll around.
Yeah, honestly, that kind of pisses me off on
Kind of
PC when
does
they
too.
do that and force it because it's like it works for a thumbstick. It doesn't really work for mice too
Yeah,
well.
it feels odd.
Yeah, I've only seen one game where because they want you to like draw almost like a circle with the mouse,
Hmm.
and I can't remember what game it is, but there was one I played a little while back. I want to say it was like Thief, where what they did is you just move it left and right, and it would just keep on spinning around.
Okay,
So that it worked pretty
that's not
well on
that bad.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. But like most of them, they want you to go like you can only go up as long as you're moving the mouse up. It's just like, God damn, this is retarded.
right.
So I'm a little bit worried. I'm hoping we're not going to be forced into that selection. I can just hit the number keys and whatnot.
Hmm.
But like, granted, it does look cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if like other things like your map overlay or whatever, like when you bring the map up, if there's going to be like a trade off, like you can see the map but you can't see anything in front of you.
Hmm.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, we'll see. Then they showed Doom Snap Map. So
Yeah.
map creator for
Hmm.
multiplayer.
I thought that looked actually really, really cool, and I think it's almost them kind of taking a shot at Unreal tournaments, to be honest, because
Yeah,
they're going for that more faster paced multiplayer again, like they used to with Quake and everything. So I think, and also that's the thing with Unreal is it's a lot of created content. So I'm pretty sure that's what they're gonna be. That's what they're trying to do, and I think it's gonna work. It looks like it works really nice. If that is how it's gonna end up being, it's gonna be pretty flawless,
yeah. I thought it
extremely
was really
seamless.
cool looking.
Hmm.
The other thing I'm kind of wondering too is they also, on top of all this, announced Bethesda Net or said that's like now the de facto standard.
Right. Which I'm.
And there's go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, which would be. I'm curious to see if that is where they're gonna be putting like all the mods and stuff for like every game now. Like if that's gonna be like this is where you go to instead of having like all the Nexus and then mod DB. Like no, we're just gonna put it all in ours. That way you know exactly where to go, where to find it, and it might be nice as long as it works.
Yeah, and it might be as I hate to say it, but like Unreal, where it's going to be like a paid mod thing. But it's
And that too, yeah, for like the ones like that are higher
yeah,
end, maybe you have to pay for it.
yeah. Well, I'm hoping it's like they don't do it for everything, like you said.
I
I would
hope
like to
not.
see like some kind of betting system or something
Hmm.
where you're like, okay, this is worth like a certain amount of money. What do you want to
Right.
sell? Like an agreement going on between
Hmm.
whatnot.
Yeah.
The other thing I was kind of curious too is they said this is going to be the Snap Map feature is going to be on consoles and PC,
Hmm.
like across everything. So I'm kind of curious if I make a map on PC, will I be able to share it with my friends on PS4?
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
It seemed like that's what they're leaning towards, but I'm not 100% on that.
yeah. Because this is the type of game, to be honest with you, where like you've never had that kind of integration on the Xbox because Microsoft's always kind of like, no, it has to be Xbox Live and nothing else.
Hmm.
You look at like Titanfall, which was kind of like a smaller game at the time, and the only way they got away with it is basically they were running Xbox Live on PC to get that game
Right.
to run. But with a game like Doom that has such popularity and people were going to buy it and stuff, like Doom is honestly, even though it's like an older game, I would say it's up there with like Grand Theft Auto and stuff. Um,
Is definitely one of those like legendary
yeah.
franchises.
So I'm kind of curious, like, is this going to be something like where they're just going to be like, okay, screw you, Xbox Live. You want us on Xbox, you got to support Bethesda Net, and you got to let us handle the multiplayer and all
Right.
that.
Which
And
I think they're going to be okay with that because I don't know. I don't think I could be wrong if anybody knows for sure, but Elder Scrolls Online, I believe, is actually not using Xbox Live. They have their own servers for that.
yeah, and the rules were set up for that before when the consoles launched.
Hmm.
That I don't think you have to pay for Xbox Live specifically for that to work.
Not for that game. I think any subscription-based games, you just pay for the subscription.
Yeah, so yeah, that seems really cool. I'm really excited to see more from Doom. I'm surprised how much they showed. They did show a lot of it.
They showed a
Um,
lot.
and like I said, I wouldn't worry. Like when people see the look of it, they're like, "Oh my god, this is gorgeous" because it's super smooth or whatnot.
All right.
But I was noticing during the multiplayer stuff, you were seeing like jaggies and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It looked more like what the game would look like on a console or a PC
Mhm.
than what they were actually showing.
Right.
Not saying that there wasn't an actual engine; it just probably turned up on 11 on a couple Titans.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a couple Titans going and some
Yeah,
crazy
yeah. It's like Forza
processors
all
and
of a
shit.
sudden.
32 gigs of RAM or some crap.
Yeah, something crazy like that. So the next game they showed was Battle Cry. Um, this is one I saw at in Texas at
Mhm.
QuakeCon. They were showing it off, and it was playable then. So I'm kind of curious what state it's in now.
I will honestly say I got up and got something to drink during that part.
Yeah,
Anytime I see a game like that, I'm just like, oh, a TF2 clone. This one's in third person with more melee. Okay, I get it.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's not a whole lot of info, and they didn't really share a whole lot during the
Hmm.
conference to like really should avail. And basically, the biggest thing is it's playable there. I'm kind of wondering if they kind of held back on it because they're going to talk a lot more about it in one of the like maybe Microsoft or something like that. Me,
Possible, yeah.
I don't know if it's even coming out. I know it's coming out for PC.
Hmm.
Maybe they're holding it back for the PC conference. Who
Too.
knows?
Yeah, I know. I keep forgetting that that exists.
Yeah. So, yep. Um, then Dishonored 2.
Hmm.
Yes, and it looked pretty damn good. I actually think
It,
that might have been in Tech 6 too.
I actually do not think that was an engine.
No, you think it
No,
was pre-rendered?
I think it was pre-rendered. Yes, just to
Mm,
made a little bit more game-y. One because I mean, it could be that they changed the art style,
hmm
possibly, but one of the noticeable things about Dishonored is the brushstroked textures.
hmm
Did not see any of that in that. So unless they change the art style, and yeah, maybe run in its X6 or something, but I still think with like all the like third person parts and everything, I don't think that was in game.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they changed the art look because, like, the brush strokes, a lot of people saw that and they didn't understand that's what it was supposed to be, and they're like, "Oh, the textures look like crap."
Hmm.
Like that was like the
Yeah,
number one.
it's possible they changed it, but
Yeah.
I still
So
don't think that was in. I still don't think that was in game.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I just kind of felt like maybe not in game so much, but probably in the engine from what I
Or
saw.
maybe I mean it's possible in engine, but again,
Yeah.
it's probably like and Doom's thing maybe like cranked up to some insane amount, but it's still. I have a feeling
Yeah.
it's not going to look anything like that when it finally comes out.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Seems like a trend where we're kind of starting to see more stuff kind of like being like previews like that in engine or whatnot.
Hmm.
New location. What was it called?
Uh,
Karnataka, Karnataka or Kanaka? Yeah. So
I can't remember.
apparently it's in a faraway land, so
Yes.
hence the slightly different look of the landscape and buildings
Hmm.
and stuff like that.
Right.
They didn't say like around what time. It's obviously quite a ways after. So you
It's at
play as
least a
the
few years. Yeah.
yeah, you play as the Empress, Emily, or Corvo through the game.
Hmm. Was that actually the same character? It was actually Emily, the Empress.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought. But then they're like new character. I'm like, wait, I thought that was the Empress, but I don't know.
Maybe they're saying that because you didn't play her before or
Yeah, that's what I
whatnot.
was thinking. But yeah,
Yeah,
you could play as Corvo.
yeah. But I'm. It sounds like a foreign invader has taken over the land and
Hmm.
they're trying to free it or something like that. So we'll see. Then they showed Elder Scrolls Online, which we already
Which,
knew about. So advertisement.
yeah,
Um,
which I knew that was coming. I was waiting for it.
yeah, and then Elder Scrolls Legends card game. Basically, looks like Hearthstone clone.
That's what my guess. It's one of those things where I was like, but at least it might be cool. Card games really don't bug me for like those little mini type games that they are made for like iPhone and stuff. Like it's a cool little way to get it out into the verse type of thing. So
I'm willing to try it.
right,
Like
it
it
might
could be
end up being
cool.
good. I will say
Yeah,
that Khajiit that they had that was like more tiger looked
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah,
But I know there's
yeah.
like 5 different types of Khajiits, and we won't go into that tonight. But
But yeah, it looked pretty cool. Let's see here. We got some comments.
yeah, we do have a few.
All right. I'm just
I'm
checking. Like my
yeah.
screen keeps on like resetting up, and it's like being
I do.
stupid.
I will. Generic entry, yeah. Refreshing Best Buy for Pit Boy edition.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get.
That looks. The thing is, I don't even really care that much about Fallout, but I'm like, that looks really cool. I just want to go around with that on my wrist just to freak people out.
Just fuck Todd Howard. That's all I gotta say.
Yep.
So Todd Howard came out. They showed off Fallout 4. They
Mhm.
showed off a lot of Fallout 4, a lot more than I was
A
expecting.
lot, yes.
And that press conference pretty much was what it needed to
For
be.
what it was, yeah.
It was pretty much like a fan, like fans for Fallout, pretty
Right.
much. So he came out, and I noticed he made like a little jab at Blizzard,
He did a
which I
little
thought
bit.
was pretty funny.
Mhm.
Which, dude, I understand you guys are competing and you have similar properties, but be fair, Blizzard came out with a card game before you did.
Mhm.
So it's like maybe keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
They showed off concept art, which I guess was cool.
And I always look at that and I go, how long did you spend on concept art? Like, god damn.
He
Something
said
that's really
they
good.
were working on it, yeah, for like since end of Fallout 3.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously they've got a pretty blown out world realized here.
Right.
Game starts the day of the war in 2077.
Hmm.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That was cool.
Doing that, and you could like be his wife or whatever.
Mhm.
The thing that sounded really interesting, but I don't understand the point, is they're dynamically creating a child based on the looks that you choose.
Hmm.
But then,
There's got to be something about that later on.
yeah, there's got to be something about that.
Here, that they just want to see if they could do it, but
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. Like, there's parts of it I was like, whoa.
actually, when I will say, like when I heard I'm gonna just say John Cleese said his name Howard, I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yes. He's like, we put like 1,000 names in. I'm like, thank you so much.
That's pretty cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And then let's see what else. Was an engine.
Yeah,
So that's the thing
definitely
I've
was.
heard so far is people were kind of crapping on the look of it, but
I think it looks really good. I mean, their environments are always top notch ever since really even since Morrowind. That was the one thing that looked decent in Morrowind. It's just their characters. We all know their characters are always kind of lacking, and I think it's mostly just their animations are kind of stiff. I think that's the main thing that hurts it. But
you're fine. You sound kind of like a robot, but that's cool.
Oh yeah, you looked like a robot for a second. But yeah, exactly. Like I think it's just their animations look kind of funky and kind of sometimes. But just I think play the game in first person and you'll be fine.
I think part of the thing with Fallout and the reason why the characters always kind of look kind of weird is the fact that you can't shape the nose, you can't shape the jaw, you can't put any kind of clothing on the character.
Yeah, that's part of it. There's a lot to stack on to it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're building a character model and that's it's like you can put all this detail. You got to be able to build a character that you can stack clothes and everything on, which the way they do that a lot of times it's not like you have you cut out the body and then you put clothes and stuff on them. I mean, sometimes they do that in some games, but I'm pretty sure with like Skyrim, Fallout, they actually have the body and all that's there, and then they put clothes on top of it. So it's rendering the body and the clothes and everything. So they have to kind of scale it down a little bit just so that it has more openness to what you can put onto the characters and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it before where somebody will, like, for whatever reason, make mutant nose on a person's face that goes out like Pinocchio. And then they put a mask on, their nose is sticking out through the mask. It's like, so you got to be careful when you're doing stuff like that. And
right.
It's kind of my thoughts. It's more about the experience, and then the look is kind of secondary to me. Like Fallout games, I'm definitely glad that there's blue skies and color and some greenery. Yeah. Like one thing I always pointed out about Fallout games, unless it was like static on a bed, did you ever notice there was like no cloth in the world?
Pretty much,
yeah. If it was on your back, like now there's like cloth and like awnings and stuff. And
yeah, it sounds crap. Like Yeah, it sounds like they listened to what everyone was bitching about for three. I mean, it was still like a really loved game, but there was a lot of things a lot of people didn't like about it, and I think they listened to that hardcore and they put it in there.
Yeah, it was kind of my problem with some of the mods for three. Like all the best looking mods just made it look even more dark and dreary. So it was like,
Yeah, most of them.
yeah. So I mean, it was very wanted. It was what was it? Create. They called it the new creation engine. So it
Oh, it's
was
Creation Engine, yeah, which is what they
yeah,
use for Skyrim.
yeah. So that'll be pretty interesting to see if
Hmm.
there's any how much Skyrim in this is in there.
Also, I'm curious to see like how much of Boston they put in there. When I saw that they had someone built a town inside of Fenway, I was like, that is
Yeah,
awesome.
that is pretty cool. I like the little defense and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, so they introduced a crafting system, whatnot,
Hmm.
into the game. That looks really cool. That you could just like take apart anything and make all new things out of it.
Yep.
I can't imagine how much stupid amount of time that took.
Yeah, it
Um,
had to take a lot.
yeah. Then you could build your own home. You could build your own town, your own
Hmm.
settlement, and then
Right.
it's like all of a sudden it's like tower defense. Like
Yeah,
here
because
comes the
tower defense.
hordes.
Yeah.
It's like I was laughing my balls off so hard when I saw the guys coming through in the flamethrowers.
They
Right,
third torches them. Yeah,
like, yes,
they look awesome.
yeah, it was pretty cool. So just the fact that this is like they're almost like going GTA with this thing. Just like
Hmm.
oh, it's like I'm not surprised if I walk up and there's like an old tennis court and I'll start being able to play tennis with like a mutant or
Right, that'd be
something
cool.
like that. You know?
Also, it sounded like then they're bringing this back from like old school RPGs. Is
Nope, you're
they?
crapping out
I
again.
know, I know. I don't know if it's you or me, because um, but anyways, so the one thing I'm uh hoping, and it sounds like they're gonna be able to do, is with like any character or whatever, it might screw up your quest line or whatever, but it sounds like you can kill them if you need to.
Yeah,
Because that
yeah.
I was like that cool. Bring that back because I like that honestly.
You know how like I don't know how it's gonna change my game because you know me, like I'm gonna be like Han Solo with like half the conversations and just shoot
Oh,
everyone
just
in
make
the
sure you
face.
save and then then do
Yeah,
it.
boring, boring
Or
conversation
conversation,
anyway.
anyways.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Then they announced Fallout Shelter coming out tonight on iOS.
Hmm.
Um,
Which
honestly, that looked pretty fun.
it did look fun.
Yeah.
Like once I saw it, I'm like, it's Fallout with FTL, and like
Yes.
that's totally cool with me. I have no problems with that.
I like how the two just went in the back room and you saw smiley faces and she comes out and she's
Is that what is pregnant? Yeah,
it's
it's
great.
funny.
I
Also,
like
I thought it was cool how like their idea around it too is like it's free to play. It's seriously free to play, and like you can buy more packs and stuff to get more and more items, but they'll be there. I mean, that's about it.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully Android version comes soonish.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I
Yeah,
know they worked specifically with Apple to help them with that, but I'm sure they'll have an Android version
yeah.
eventually.
So I mean, it looked fun. I really do want to play it. I like the character art style. How it just looks like all the drawings of the
Yeah.
Fallout people from the
Hmm.
Vault-Tec thing and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice touch.
yeah, and they said there was a game. I'm trying to make sure I say what it was here. I have lots of notes. Oh yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, I can't find it. It's lost in there somewhere.
What game?
They, it was based off of like their idea for that game was based off of another game called Progress Quest or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So then they showed off the new Pit Boy, and you
Hmm.
can do just about anything on it. You can
Yeah.
do games of Donkey Kong
Which I'm
and Missile
kind of
Command.
curious how they're getting away with that.
It doesn't have a donkey or a Kong.
Huh.
And I
Well,
mean
yeah.
missiles. You can't put patents on missiles. They
Right.
fall. It
Right.
is Fallout, obviously.
Right. No, I know the Atomic Missile Command type
Yeah.
game. Yeah. Atomic Command or whatever.
Well, to be fair, like Atari's not really around anymore,
Right.
and whoever holds them, I don't think has enough to be able to sue on. So,
Yeah. Probably not. But
Nintendo does, but I don't think
yeah,
they can
Nintendo
go
does though.
after them.
But
Yeah.
it's not on their system. They don't know it exists.
So Neil, here's the thing I'm wondering. They said it's Vault 111, and you're the only survivor. So, are we just assuming your family got off the first day?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
But he's like, it's cool. I've got a dog. Here, boy.
Hmm. It's a
And
nice dog.
yeah, I don't know. It kind of like it
And
didn't seem like there was a whole
Codwell
lot of regret going on there.
was it? Codwell was the robot.
Codwell or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
very
shows up
British.
200 years
And,
later. Yeah,
mhm.
it's like, hey, what's up? My battery pack still works. Um, yeah, I don't know how they keep on producing thrust too. That's a weird
I know.
concept to
I'm
me.
like, it must be like nuclear powered or something.
Yeah, yeah. So you were getting radiated anyways.
I know. The whole time I was like, how does that thing like not hover and like slightly burn your rug?
Yeah. The one thing we kind of saw in the trailer I was interested too is what's his name? The guy that does the voice War Never Changes. Perlman,
Ron Perlman, yes.
Ron Perlman. Yeah. So it sounds like in the beginning of the game, he's the actual announcer, like the newscaster,
That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
which is kind of cool to like roll him into that. I thought that was
Yeah, it
pretty.
is cool.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Codsworth, thank you, Kitty.
Codsworth, awesome. So Fallout 4, November 10th, and
The thing
Pit Boy
is,
Edition.
I wish Steve was here because at the beginning of right before the show, I was like,
Mhm.
and I might even said this to you the other day. I'm like, November release, calling it right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely thought this year with like the trailer they showed last week,
Mhm.
it looked way too done to like not be
Yeah.
out this year. Yeah. So I mean, I can understand some people's frustrations with it not being super pretty, but consoles, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. They
Oh
can only
well.
do so much right now.
And for
Um,
anybody who's bitching about it not being pretty enough, guess what? Get it for PC and mod the hell out of it like everyone else.
yeah, you could do that. I'm just gonna play it. I don't care.
I think it looks pretty. Like when I saw him like walking through like downtown, like all busted up and everything. I'm like, that looks cool. I don't care what you say.
I'm gonna sit there with my Pit Boy.
hmm
I have my little rads and my dials and stuff and
hmm
whatever. So yeah, that was the Bethesda show. Got anything else you want to add on it? Anybody else in the chat?
The only thing I could say is for a negative note, though.
Mm.
By the time they were done showing Doom, I was kind of like, it already was kind of getting repetitive. I'm like, I really hope that's not something that becomes a problem with that game, but we'll see.
Yeah, honestly, to a certain point, I'm just kind of expecting it to be over the top.
hmm
Just gore and violence. Obviously, is like grabbing
Yeah.
people like this and ripping them in half.
hmm
Seemed like some kind of like weird exosuit armor, like Call of Duty thing is going
hmm
on. They didn't really say if this is a direct sequel to Doom 3. Kind of seemed like it.
It's definitely some of the lore has to be the same. Because I
Yeah.
mean, it's even the same logo and everything for UAC and all
So did you see the original Doom 3 that they were or Doom 4 that they were working on before? Like the
that.
trailer for it?
Probably. It's been a while.
Um, yeah, so it actually had them on Earth, and the demons already came, and it looked like it was at the
hmm
same time. And that was supposed to be a direct sequel to Doom 3, which is technically a remake of Doom.
Right.
Um, yeah, so I don't know if this is going to be like the same, but they did say they're on Mars, right? So
Yeah, they did.
yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I think original Doom 2 was also supposed to be on Earth, wasn't it? If I remember my lore right.
I don't know. You would know better than me.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played it. Anyways, overall it was pretty good, especially for a first attempt. There wasn't like any cheesy. There was no Mr. Caffeine out there.
Okay. I almost kind of want Kitty while we're still talking. Explain the broke the lore thing. I'm not 100% sure if you understand what he was trying to say.
No, but we can give him a link and he can come and explain it if he
Yeah,
wants.
if you want. Kitty, you want in? Let us know.
And we wait. Dead air.
Yeah, but anyways, what were you saying with Doom? You're talking about Doom. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying it looks over the top and cheesy,
Yeah,
and I don't
it does.
expect much more out of it than like I did for Wolfenstein. Really,
Um,
you can
I don't know.
make
Yeah.
simplistic games that are fun. Honestly,
Right. I'm just hoping, like, with me personally, like, doing that over the top thing for a while, like, it's gonna get boring quickly. Like, I'll enjoy it maybe for like an hour, and then after that, I'm gonna be like, it's okay.
yeah.
I've killed enough of these demons. I'm satisfied for a while.
I don't
But
know.
we'll see.
It depends on the gunplay. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
If it's good enough, I'll stick around. I love
hmm
first-person shooters. So
Right. More
yeah,
animation, more death animations will help the melee.
Yeah, well,
'Cause I was seeing the same ones over and over again.
yeah, same here. But it
Okay, Katie wants in. Send them the
still looks
link if
like
you
a
didn't
year.
already.
Yeah, still looks like a year off.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit. Like maybe March at the earliest, my guess.
Let's see here. Friends.
I could probably do it faster than you.
Well, I have too many people on my friends list. I
I
need to
already
help
found them. I
some.
already sent it. But uh, anyways,
What did you think about the bat in Fallout that had the blades on it?
oh, they look cool. Hey,
Yeah.
Kitty.
Hello, hello.
All right,
So,
explain.
Okay, so according to the Fallout Wiki, the power cell in the Mr. Handsy models
Okay.
are only supposed to last 2 years, so
Oh,
not quite
that,
200.
yeah, they have
Yeah,
a 2 year half life.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Yeah.
well, people aren't supposed to last 200 either, so I'm kind of curious how they're going to do
Yeah, maybe there is something.
Well, I saw a lot of stuff about on Reddit about how how each vault has some kind of experiment going on. Supposedly, the one for Vault 11 is supposed to be cryo sleep or something like that.
Oh, okay.
that. Oh, okay. I
Well,
thought
that
it'd be like something weird, like time displacement.
explains it.
That'd be
Well,
cool if in the Fallout universe, all of a sudden, like what was it, the experiment Einstein did where he stuck magnets on the boat and they were trying to time travel or something
Oh, the
crazy like that.
Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah,
yeah.
wouldn't it be cool if that just showed up all of a sudden in the Fallout universe?
That would be cool.
People were like in the walls or something crazy like that.
The cryo sleep thing kind of fits with the game already though
Yeah,
because
it does.
there was cryo sleep tech in I think the original Fallout,
I
and
think
at
so.
some points some quest you see a guy who died before the war get out of this cryo sleep thing, but he disintegrates right away. So the tech didn't work, but it's in the lore already.
Oh, well, thank you, Fallout expert.
Sure. Yeah.
So, what did you think about the whole thing overall?
They showed way more than I thought they were going to. I was genuinely impressed. I thought I was gonna see a lot of stuff that kind of like was built upon from the like New Vegas and Fallout 3. There's a lot of new stuff that they got my money already, basically.
You
Yeah.
getting a Pit Boy?
I saw them show it on the post show, and it's very clearly like cheap plastic, like collector stuff always is. But I'll still probably get it
Yeah.
anyway. Can't help it. My
Wonderful.
wallet already wants it.
All right. So, what's the next show that we have to do? After
Yeah, that's a
show?
good question. When does it start? What's the next one?
Sometime in the morning. Hold on a second. I'll tell you.
Oh, for you.
Yeah. You too.
I gotta make sure I'm up in time.
Come on. Make sure I don't have
I
anything.
want to say Microsoft should be the first one tomorrow.
Yeah, and the schedule I was using has now disappeared, of course.
4 p.m. Pacific. There's got to be one earlier. Normally there's one earlier.
Thanks, YouTube, for taking the schedule off that you had before. It was so nifty.
Yeah, seriously. Let's see here.
Yeah, it looks like.
Okay, so we have. Okay, Microsoft is tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. So 12:30 Eastern. It sounds like they have another one. Oh wait, never mind. That's a different time zone. And then we have EA at 1 p.m. Pacific time, so 4 here. And Ubisoft at 3. Sony at 6. And then on Tuesday we have Nintendo at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Square at 10, right after Nintendo's done, and then PC later, so 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. So we have a lot.
What the fuck have we done?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, General Kitty, thanks for joining us. Anybody else that might be watching this now or later, if you
Yeah.
actually want to join and discuss the after stuff afterwards, after
Yeah,
we get
just hit us
the
up.
rundown or whatever, hit us up. We'll bring you in. We don't care.
Hmm. It's
And
always
like,
fun.
yeah. So, Joe, Kitty, see you
Mhm.
guys later on.
See ya.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
See you guys
Let's get
tomorrow.
hyped. Let's get hyped, boys.
It's an Xbox.